Last season, I posted a video about the Lumina exotic hand cannon, and in that video, I unpacked why Lumina was so unpopular, even though it was an exotic 140 hand cannon with a cool perk. The basic gist of that video was that Lumina was a gun with an identity crisis. It had been converted into a 140 hand cannon from a 150 by simply slowing down the rate of fire, but Bungie had neglected to do a full conversion and left Lumina with 150 hand cannon range and bad stability. So it was a 140 hand cannon with all of the downsides of a 150 with none of the positives and pros of a 140. So in that video, I said that Lumina needed to have its range increased to match other 140 hand cannons, and we compared it to other 140 hand cannons, and it was abysmal in the range department, comparatively speaking. And the recoil needed to be reeled in to justify making it a 140. And with the launch of the Witch Queen, Bungie finally did those things. Lumina got a plus 15 boost to its base range and plus 10 boost to its stability. With that change, Lumina became a true 140 hand cannon, and I finally got around to playing with my old friend, and I was genuinely blown away. Now, it did take me, admittedly, a little bit of time to get around to playing with the Lumina. That's just because we had so many new weapons come with the Witch Queen, and I had to get to all those, and I wanted to feel those out, what was good, what was bad. I had crafting to do, so I had my hands full with plenty of other stuff, so I know, admittedly, I am a little late to getting around to the Lumina, but I wanted to give you an honest opinion from the perspective of somebody who already had, you know, hundreds and hundreds, even over 1,000 kills on Lumina before this change ever took place. So I already had a great relationship with the gun. I was familiar with what it could do, what its weaknesses were, and now I'm approaching it with fresh eyes to see how it stacks up after the update, right? In this video, you'll see some banging clips from WeRans to 40 to 50 kill games. But ultimately, the goal is to address the question: is it worth using Lumina over the myriad of extremely powerful exotic kinetic hand cannons out there already? This thing has to compete with Hawkmoon, Ace of Spades, The Last Word. Like, that's some friggin' stiff competition right there. I'm gonna level with you. I think in sixes, Lumina is now better than Hawkmoon, in my opinion. I think Ace is still king. From my perspective, I think Ace is still king, and the last word is kind of difficult to compare against because it really, it depends on your input device, and also the last word isn't really used in the same way as other hand cannons. It's more about close mid engagements, and it heavily relies on movement and positioning. So it's basically in a category of its own. But I personally highly endorse the Lumina now in sixes. The Lumina basically turns turns the gun into a 3-tap machine where you don't even have to focus on precision, right? You can just spray 3 shots at an enemy and you're likely to kill them. And you don't have to focus so much on recoil control and landing all of your headshots. And Hawkmoon is really cool. It's got a really fun minigame too. It's very rewarding to play with. But the damage buff with Lumina can be chained, and it can just continue to go on, and you have this momentum to it, where Hawkmoon does not. You build up to that final shot, you use that shot, cool, it may have turned something into a 2-tap, or maybe even a 1-tap if you manage to get all the headshots leading up with that sort of mini game that you play, but then you have to start the game all over again. With Lumina, you don't have to start the game all over again. Once you get it up and running, you can chain it as much as you want, or as much as you're comfortable with, depending on how many engagements you want to push into. The Blessing of Sky buff makes Lumina pump out 86 to the head and 58 to the body. So that's the same damage buff as High Energy Fire. It means you only need to hit 1 headshot and 2 body shots. A lot of times, 2 headshots will do the trick, because people are frequently close to full health, but not quite full health because of the myriad of ways people take damage in Destiny. But I also run Precision Charge and High Energy Fire. So Precision Charge, it only costs 2 energy on a void piece of armor, and that will give you a stack of Charged with Light anytime you get a multi-kill. I also run Kinetic Siphon and Taking Charge and High Energy Fire. So this means that anytime I get a multi-kill with the Lumina, I get an extra damage boost from High Energy Fire right then and there. Anytime I get a multi-kill, I also create an orb that I can go pick up for another charged with light stack for the high energy fire buff. With Blessing of Sky active, that makes Lumina a 2-tap. Consistent 2-tap to the head regardless of how much resilience your enemy is running. On top of that, with the range boost that Lumina gets, that it got with the update, Blessing of Sky, when it's active, now you can push that range out even further, right? It used to be with Blessing of Sky active, you could push the range of Lumina out to where other 140s already occupied that space. But now, with the range buff that we got with the update, plus Blessing of Sky active, now you can actively outduel other hand cannons from deeper ranges where you have a 3-tap kill, but they now have a 4-tap kill due to damage drop off. So while they're pumping out 54 damage to the head, you'll still be doing over 70. So you'll see me in this gameplay. For example, there's a couple of engagements on Altar of Flame where I'll take a duel against a DMT or a pulse rifle from downtown with the buff active, and I still get that 3-tap. But the damage buff isn't the only good thing about the gun, right? Dumping out damage buffs to your teammates is also a huge help, and not having to reload the weapon when you're getting kills is awesome too. Anytime a soul from a kill reaches you to give you a noble round, it also reloads a portion of your magazine, and with the catalyst you get 2 souls per kill. So the raw momentum that you can obtain with this weapon is incredible. You hold forward, you get your kills, and you get your souls, and you don't slow down to reload, right? Dump a noble round off to a nearby teammate and keep going. It's awesome. It's seriously so much fun. I love stuff like that. It's much more involved. So much popular stuff in Destiny is just neutral game stuff, right? It's just neutral game stuff or movement stuff. It's point and shoot. You do what you normally do, and something is just intrinsically going to be better about it. And that's pretty boring to me. I love stuff like Lumina that makes you feel much more engaged with what's going on. Your wheels are turning and you're experiencing the game on a new level in real time. That's the kind of depth that I've come to really appreciate from Destiny. I'm looking forward to playing around a little more with Lumina. I ended up really enjoying the Voidwalker, as it turns out, with this thing. So I'd use the Rift to hold a corner or a door, and then lead with an Axion and an Old Gods, and then I'd follow those things up with Sustained Fire from the Lumina. It was seriously fun, led to tons of multi-kills. And I'm really tempted to try adding Chromatic Fire into the mix for some extra Void explosions. So all this to say, I firmly believe that Lumina is well worth your time to take another look at this season. With the changes to range and stability, the Lumina is now in a place where it can not only hang with other popular options, but it can even thrive. In elimination, it won't have as much utility as weapons and builds that focus on momentum. They really aren't useful in that environment as much, but in sixes and Iron Banner, this thing is a genuine menace now. So I hope you take the time to revisit it, and hopefully the gameplay in this video was an encouragement to you as well, as you can see just how fun this weapon is. So best of luck in all of your Witch Queen endeavors. Let me know in the comments what weapons you've really been forming a good relationship with this season and why you like them. Check out TrueVanguard.com for more VOD content, and tune into my True Vanguard Clips channel here on YouTube for short videos of explosive moments from our live streams. Feel free to leave a like on the video, only if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for additional Destiny 2 content. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.